Let's look at solving equations for a variable. For example, let's take this linear equation, 7x minus 5y equals 25, and solve for y. So this is something you're probably very used to solving. So to get y by itself, we need to get rid of the terms that don't include y on the left-hand side. So let's subtract 7x from both sides. We get negative 5y equals negative 7x plus 25. Divide everything by negative 5. So we get y equals 7/5 x minus 5. Okay, so we're going to do the same exact thing, but now we just have the general equation for standard form of a linear equation. Ax plus by equals c, and again we're going to solve for y. So again, we want to isolate the term with the y in it. So let's subtract ax from both sides. We get by equals c minus ax. Divide both sides by b. We get y equals c minus ax over b. I could have put negative ax plus c over b. I could also divide everything else out by b and get y equals c over b minus a over bx. Let's look at one more example, and this one is a little bit harder. Here we have 1 over r equals 1 over r sub 1 plus 1 over r sub 2, and we are going to solve for r sub 1. So let's get rid of our fractions first. Let's find our LCD. And our LCD needs to contain r sub 1, and r sub 2. So our LCD is the product r times r sub 1 times r sub 2. And we are going to multiply all of our terms by this LCD. Okay, so the r's cancel in the first term, and we're left with r sub 1 times r sub 2 times 1, which is r sub 1 times r sub 2. And our second term, or the first one on the right-hand side, the r sub 1's cancel, and we're left with r times r sub 2. And on our last term, our r sub 2's cancel, and we're left with r times r sub 1. Okay, so now we need to remember what we're solving for. We're solving for r sub 1, which appears on both sides of the equation. So we need to combine both of the terms with the r sub 1's on one side of the equal sign. So I'm going to bring everything to the left. So I will subtract r times r sub 1 from both sides and get r sub 1's r sub 2 minus r times r sub 1 equals r times r sub 2. And now on the left, I'm going to factor out that r sub 1. So factoring out of side, I get r sub 1, and then in the parentheses, I'll be left with r sub 2 minus r, and that still equals r times r sub 2. Now, I want to divide everything by what's in parentheses, r sub 2 minus r. And on the left, those will cancel, and I'll be left with r sub 1 equals r times r sub 2 over r sub 2 minus r. And that is our equation solved for r sub 1.